Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Quotes and Quips. Today, words of wisdom from Leonardo da Vinci. Quotes and Quips is brought to you by my website, FletcherRhoden.com, where you'll find links to things like my Amazon.com author page. That's where you can buy my books in paperback or for Kindle or in audiobook format. There's a Spotify artists page link where you can download my music in its various subgenres. I've got new music for 2024. Now you can download my music anywhere across the internet. But at my website, there's free music that you can get there exclusively. So check it out. Okay, today, the great Leonardo da Vinci gives us this quote. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Well, okay, what does that mean and from whom do we hear it? Leonardo da Vinci was one of the great geniuses of the human experience, an inventor, a painter, revolutionized painting, not only with his layered technique of very, very, very light layers that gave his work a very naturalistic, smooth sort of a tone, but also his mastery of spatial dimension. He gave us he put art into the third dimension more than any other artist had done before him, with his understanding of the depth of perception, the field of perception. Right? He did this in works like The Last Supper, for example. And he's also, of course, a great inventor and an eager intellect and a great Sigma, lone wolf type guy. And he said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So what does he mean? Well, his works weren't that simple. I mean, the Mona Lisa, he worked on that thing for 10 years. He carried it around with him everywhere he went, working on it little by little. Long after the model was gone, didn't matter. So that's not the essence of simplicity. And if you look at the painting, it's not simple at all. I mean, the whole concept of her smile is a riddle. There's nothing simple about that. And the background is kind of strange. It looks as though water is inundating the background, as if an apocalyptic flood is pouring over Florence. I presume it's Florence. I believe it is 3 individual landscapes, actually, behind the Mona Lisa. 3. And it looks as if they're all overflowing with some disastrous flood. And here she is looking at you with her hands folded, smiling, calm. And why is she smiling and what's happening behind her? It's all a big riddle. So there's not a lot of simplicity to it. The Last Supper, the guy decides to mix oil and acrylic paint, basically, and comes up with a paint that will not survive. So one of these great works of art fast began to deteriorate right on the wall. It would have been simpler if he had just gone with oil. So why wasn't simplicity the ultimate sophistication there, Leo? And we look at other things. The making of his horse. He tried to cast a great bronze horse in a single piece, and he just couldn't make it work. And then by the time he was ready to do it, they took all the bronze for the war. One war or the other. So, and all of his inventions, flying machines, wings and stuff, where the simplicity fits into Leonardo da Vinci's canon, I don't see it, frankly. But I do understand it, and I do agree. I just don't see it in his work. What he means is, and I've heard this before, a comparable saying, probably derivative, is for simplicity on this side of complexity, I wouldn't give a fig. But for simplicity on the other side of complexity, I would give it all. So the idea is simplicity has to be earned. It has to be learned, and the only way to do it is through complexity. Simplicity without going through complexity is foolishness. That's a fool's errand. And it's worthless. But once you've experienced the complexity, and you can achieve simplicity, find simplicity as the solution to the riddle, which was complexity, then that's true contentment. I'm reminded of the notion of nirvana, which comes, ultimate understanding and joy comes with nirvana. But you can only achieve it by doing and thinking and feeling nothing. So it's sort of the ultimate simplicity of everything, which comes after the agonizing complexity of imposed nothingness. It sounds a little heady, but Hare Krishna. So, but simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. There's great truth in it. Even 500 years later, what do they say today? Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And they say that in every profession, and it's true. I suppose no one ever said that to Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but maybe they should have. John Lennon had an interesting quote. They said, how do you write your songs? What's your key to songwriting? And he said, tell the truth and make it rhyme. Now, I'm not the greatest John Lennon fan of the world, but that has a simplicity to it, and simplicity is basically the essence of it. Don't get too fancy with your granny music and your medleys and your records. Keep it, make it honest and make it rhyme. Tell the truth and make it rhyme. That's simplistic. That is, in fact, it approaches the essence of simplicity. So, we'll throw in a John Lennon quote for analysis. It's basically the same kind of thing. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. It's hard to keep in mind in this day and age because, oh my God, just the litany of passwords you have to keep track of makes the notion of modern simplicity, lourish at best. A cruel joke at worst. How are we supposed to keep it simple now? How are you supposed to live in this country in 2024 keeping it simple? Well, hard to do, but it's also getting harder and harder to keep it sophisticated. So maybe in the one we do find the other. Hard to say. But the more complicated things are getting, the less sophisticated they're getting, that's for sure. At least as far as what we can see. Behind the scenes, I suppose there's a lot more sophistication than we realize. Just goes to show you, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Take it from Leonardo da Vinci. And tune in again next time. I'm here Monday at noon every week of this year. I leave the reruns up. You can always check out what I've said before. I have another show called Tracking the Lone Wolf. It's on its own YouTube channel called Tracking the Lone Wolf. So subscribe to both. Check out my website. Free music there. You can pay to download my books or music at your favorite download or streaming sites. Tune in again, won't you? Until then, bye, Mary.